every civilization has its own evolution. And when they come into contact, there's a possibility of an amalgamation. So are you suggesting any insulation
No.
process or anything like that?
No. See, I want cross-fertilization, but there is a difference in this book. There is a difference between cross-fertilization, which is good, and digestion. The difference is when a tiger digests a deer, there is no more deer left. The deer is finished. What he did not need, he left it out, the skin and whatever, and what he took in and could not digest properly, he throws it out. So that is what ends up with a dead civilization which has been digested. So I do not want Indian civilization to get digested into the Western universalism. That does not mean Indian civilization should remain isolated. In fact, I would claim that for thousands of years, Indian civilization has had a very detailed interaction with China, with the Middle East, with Africa, with Europe, with various parts of the world, or very slow internet. People going by boat or people going by the Silk Route, taking knowledge with them, some thinkers and philosophers coming back, some linguists going, some agricultural scientists coming back. So I think a collaboration among civilizations has existed always. It's only in recent times that one civilization was able to so strongly dominate and control everybody in the world that it was able to sort of almost squash them and finish them off. That is the problem that I don't want.